in studio with me, and we're going for yet another remake of a classic TV show, and actually a remake of a movie as well. It's one for the kids. It's Garfield, which is in theaters now.
Well, yeah, it's actually in today and tomorrow. It's just getting a special preview. So I have to be honest, I haven't seen this yet because I came here rather than watch it. That's how much I like you, Rory. So it's only a preview. It officially opens next week, but it's on today. Look, we're very much, I was thinking this on the way up, with all the communion shout outs you were given as I was listening to the radio. We're getting into that time of year where there's something for the kids to do at the weekends. And so we've got this coming out, and what they've done is now Garfield's, as you said, a remake, but I suppose it's never been away in that the comic strip still goes in newspapers. You see the merchandise everywhere, and what's funny about Garfield is it's very much the cute cat and all that for the kids. But his attitude has always been sort of more middle-aged. It's a bit like me getting up with me new hip replacement, There's always that bit of Garfield of, I hate Mondays and all that sort of, he's lazy and he's not focused and he just wants people to stop bothering him, So it's always had that mix, and I think that's why it's so popular, is that kids go and look like the knockabout cartoon stuff, and that sort of other ennui sort of appeals to the parents. Now, I must admit, when they made the movie before, they used Bill Murray's voice, which just seemed the perfect voice for it, wasn't it?
And it was a mistake.
Yes, and it was a mistake. And that's, so you just never know, do you?
Yeah.
And so then you go to, they've got Chris Pratt, and he's much more upbeat and young and all. Now it is just seem to be young Garfield, but I have to say, just judging alone by the artwork and the trailers that we've been shown, I think they might have something good here. I think they've just got the spirit. It's fun. It's just like it's probably not an all-time classic, but it's just a really enjoyable family film. Because we're going to talk about another film next that's really good that way too. One that everyone can actually enjoy. As great as, say, Super Mario Brothers and so on did more money than anything else last year, but really is aimed at a certain audience, and people over 40 really weren't interested in general. Whereas this is just enjoyable fun for everyone. It's about an hour and 28 minutes. Just the right time for all the ages, whether you're the little person or, to be honest with you, if you're my age, you probably have to get up and go to the bathroom too. So you just want about that level. So this looks really good fun. But also along with it, I must mention If, which is the new film.
Oh, yes.
Ryan Reynolds, man of the moment. He's going to have two very big movies, because Deadpool we'll be talking about in a couple of months. And of course, all over the TV with Welcome to Wrexham. But this is a family movie, and it's made by John Krasinski from The Office, who, of course, more famous for doing A Quiet Place. But this is a family-friendly idea. And I feel, look, he must have been watching Inside Out, and the bit where the imaginary friend has to sacrifice himself, he must have kind of gone, what happens to imaginary friends next? And the idea is that as we grow up, the imaginary friends stay there, but we just can't see them anymore. And there's this little girl who's going through a tough time. Her mum's passed away and her dad's not well, and she's nervous. And suddenly she starts seeing all these other people's imaginary friends. And she realised there's kind of like a retirement home, like Shady Pines, for all of these imaginary friends who are all sorts of creatures, from big furry monsters to a very funny one who's a glass of water. And he's permanently annoyed that he's a glass of water and he's the most boring one, and people keep on going to accidentally drink him. This is sweet and funny, and it starts off, it's very sentimental at first, and I was going, this is going to be too American for me, isn't it? It's just that sort of edge lack of edge that they have. By about 45 minutes, I'm there giggling away. By about an hour and 20 minutes, I'm there going, I hope everyone's okay. Loved it.
Right.
It's really sweet and nice, and it is very sentimental.
Well,
and you
from
have
seeing
to
the trailers, that's sort of the feeling that you get from it. It's a warm, fuzzy,
with Ryan Reynolds,
full of heart,
playing the sort of grumpy guy who's not interested, and of course he is interested, and he's really good at that. He's funny, likeable while being sarcastic. Actually, back to Bill Murray, like Bill Murray at his best, where he was lovable while being, grumpy about everything. Ryan Reynolds is doing that really well, and he's the great foil. The kid's very likeable in it. And they do the thing where they've got great actors, great voice actors.
I was getting real vibes when I've only seen the trailer, and it's a long trailer. By the way.
It is.
But
actually,
I'm getting vibes of Monsters Inc., Drop Dead Fred.
Monsters Inc. meets Drop Dead Fred
Yeah.
is a good example
Yeah.
with a little bit of Inside Out.
Yeah.
And it's all that sort of stuff. And as I said, one of the reasons the trailer is probably so long because they're trying to cram in all the ifs. Some of them only have small parts, but they're really famous people. And I have to say, watch the credit at the end when you see who plays the ifs. Because there's a really funny joke in the credits, which is not that common. That I laughed out loud.
That's going to do big business this summer.
I think so. I think people are really going to like this. It's going to be around for ages.
Okay.
Very warm, very likable.
Brilliant. Okay, we move on. We've time for one more. This is another, well, not a remake, but a sequel.
Yeah.
Furious? Bad Boys.
Oh, Bad Boys. Yes, Bad Boys. I tell you why. You have to wonder yourself, Rory. Had Will Smith not slapped the guy, would we be having Bad Boys 4?
First thing that came into my head.
Yeah, would we have? Because he seemed to be moving on from all that, and he was going for his Oscar-worthy stuff.
Yeah.
Having said all that, when I know in a couple of the cinemas when they put the trailer online, that it absolutely went wild.
Okay.
People are really want to see these again. People really love the Bad Boys movies.
Yeah.
And
but you sort of think, is this franchise ever going to die?
Clearly not. And I wasn't sure there was that interest in it, but there really was. Just the numbers of people watching. Now, and people want kind of slightly ruder one. Like, they want it to be a 16s movie. So there's lots of action, lots of swearing, that sort of stuff. Like a sort of more grown-up action movie. And, really they're trying to take their place of be the sort of Beverly Hills Cop of their time. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to fill that vacuum. Good, funny action movie. Lots of one-liners. That's open at the start of June. We'll see how it goes. I'm very curious to see how good this one is.
Yeah, well, judging by the previous installment, which I didn't have high hopes for, I really enjoyed.
It was much better than we expected.
Yeah, so.
I think wasn't the law of diminishing returns. So it looks like they're really into it. And let's face it, Will Smith needs a hit, and he throw himself into this one. Yeah.
Does he really need another hit?
Yeah, well.
Okay. Collie, as always, thanks so much there's some we didn't get to chat about, but we can talk about them next month. You will be back here next month.
Yes, please.
We're looking forward to it. And that's where I wrap things up for this morning as well. Thanks to everyone who got in touch with the programme, with the requests, the dedications, the suggestions for music. Thanks to Liam for his help on the programme as well. I'm back next Saturday morning, 10 a.m. We'll rewind all over again. Paul McDevitt is up next with the Saturday Shuffle, and Donald's here at the top of the hour with a news update for you.
Never has the need for reliable, trustworthy journalism been greater. If you are a journalism or media student who is about to graduate and are looking to kickstart your career in news or sports, the Learning Waves Journalism Graduate Programme is for you. Learning Waves, along with Commission Oman and Skillnet Ireland, are offering 10 graduates the opportunity to work in one of Ireland's independent radio stations for a period of 5 months from September 2024. You will work alongside the news and sports editor in the station to learn real workplace skills